First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Sun Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. Homage to Master Thubten Torche. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening, Mahajundi Buddha Mother, Sumu Tanchen Gato, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are only two of them. Accountant to Buddha Foundation, Dhamma Sister Teresa. Dr. Ryan Zong. And the other VIPs don't want to register themselves. Actually, each participant is a VIP. So today we did the group practice of Mahajundi Buddha Mother. Actually, we take turns in the 8 primary deities of True Buddha School. 1 deity per week, and very fast. It's their turn again. And I have talked about Mahajundi so much that there's about nothing to say, nothing more to say. And I was looking at this earlier and wondering what I would talk about. And last, the most secret of Mahajundi's mantra. That's the mantra. 9 syllables. Soha is considered as 1. 2. Oh, Soha is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Om, that all dharmas intrinsically is non-arising, and Tze means all dharmas are non-arising and non-ceasing. Since it is non-rising, how could it be ceasing? So it's non-rising and non-ceasing. And Li is the characteristic of all dharmas, is nothing obtainable. It has no appearance, no form. And Zu means everything is non-abiding. Actually, the Fa here, the Dharma, means everything, or all phenomena. All phenomena is non-abiding. And the second Li means that all phenomena is undefiled, is immaculate. Zun means all phenomena has no perception or no sensation. And D means all phenomena are equal, free of grasping. And Soha means all phenomena is equal and inexpressible. And since it's inexpressible, this is the end. Nothing to say. There's a sutra, and according to the sutra, the precious, majestic sutra of Manjushri Bodhisattva is spoken by the Buddha. In the sutra, it was written, one day, Manjushri Bodhisattva and Sariputra is the great Arhat, the great Shravaka. So Manjushri Bodhisattva and Sariputra went traveling to the Buddha land in the south. The two of them were flying, and they passed through myriads of the Buddha lands, like innumerable, a lot of places. And they got to the south. There was a Tathagata, and that place was called the majestic place of the south. And there was a Tathagata called the Baozu Tathagata, or the precious jewels Tathagata, teaching Buddha Dharma. And Manjushri Bodhisattva asked Sariputra, we have passed so many places, so many like worlds. And there are some worlds that's filled with fire. There's some world that's filled with water. And there are many worlds who just appeared. And there's some worlds that are deteriorating. There are some worlds that are prosperous. And there's some worlds that are in poverty. So Manjushri Bodhisattva asked Sariputra, how did you feel about all this world that you saw? And Sariputra replied, the place with fire is fire, and the place with water is all water, and the place that's poor is poor, and the place that's prosperous is prosperous. And the world that just arose, then they were just born. And the world that just disappeared, they were destroyed. So that was the answer of Sariputra. And Manjushri, and then Sariputra in turn asked Manjushri Bodhisattva, you asked me this, but now I would like to ask you, what did you see? And Manjushri Bodhisattva only replied in 2 words, empty space, nothing. There, just empty space, nothing. And Sariputra was curious and then asked Manjushri Bodhisattva, there were thousands of worlds, all these phenomena, but why did you say that they are just empty space? And Manjushri Bodhisattva replied, all these worlds will deteriorate eventually, will disappear eventually. Only the empty space or the sky is indestructible. So Manjushri Bodhisattva said that what he saw was the undestroyed empty space. And it's written here in the mantra that the empty space is not arising and it is non-ceasing, and in this empty space it is nothing is attainable. There is no defilement, and there is nothing to be perceived or to be sensed. There is nothing to get or to relinquish. That in this empty space everything is equal and there's nothing to say. And this is the mantra of Mahachundi Buddha Mother. It also talks about the empty space. So they went to this Baozu Rulai's place, both Manjushri Bodhisattva and Sariputra. Sariputra said that the fire is fire, the water is water, and the deteriorating one is deteriorating, and the one that's rising is rising. It's arising. And some is poor, some is rich. That's what Sariputra observed. But Manjushri Bodhisattva said that all he saw, because everything, every phenomena is unreal, it will be destroyed eventually. Only the empty space is undestroyable. Let me tell you another thing as an analogy. I went to watch a movie today. So what's playing inside the movie? Of course, it's about love, hate, about desire, anger, and ignorance. And then the audience watching the movie is a good movie from beginning to the end. And that's the end. As you walked out from the movie theater, what was playing in the movie? Oh, the main actor and the actress and the supporting actors and actresses. And they play this and that, and then the movie ended. So what did you see? You saw the movie and the scenes inside the movie. But were you affected by it? If it were Sariputra who watched the movie, then he was talking about the scenes or the story of the movie. But Manjushri Bodhisattva, if it were Manjushri Bodhisattva watching the movie, then he just abandoned the movie and Manjushri Bodhisattva is still Manjushri Bodhisattva. So if the main actor died, the main character died, the audience died? No. If the main lady, leading lady, really loved, was deeply in love, was the audience also deeply in love? No, it was just a movie. So what I was trying to say is that, like what Sariputra saw, everything will pass. The real thing is the empty space. After you watch the movie, you are still you. The person is still the person. The movie is the movie. They are unrelated to each other. So what I'm explaining here is the heart mantra of Mahajundi Buddha Mother. That's the empty space. It's indestructible because the empty space can give birth to everything and can also destroy everything. So a living human being, as if he exists, but actually it's not real, because in the future they will also disappear and becomes nothing. Who can truly have fame and position throughout all the dynasties, Qing, Wei, Tang, San, Zhou, Wei, Jin, Tang, Song, Yan, Ming, Qing, all the different dynasties in China with so many emperors, and then the republic. This is the China history, Tang, Yi, Xia, Sang, Zhou, Qin, Tai, Si Guo, Wei, Jin, Nan, Bei, Cao, Sui, Tang, Song, Yan, Ming, Qing. Was there an emperor that stayed an emperor forever? No, nothing. They all returned to dust. They all returned to emptiness. Was there a wealthy man who always had his money forever? No. During the Qing dynasty, there was a character called He Sen. He was so corrupt. As I remembered, the emperor took a precious pagoda from lapis lazuli made of 7 precious gems, and He Sen saw that, and he smiled slyly because he had hundreds of them at his home, and the emperor only had one, because He Sen was extraordinarily rich. But did he still have the money? No. The most beautiful lady under the heaven, would she stay a beauty forever? Today, do we have a beautiful lady here? Of course. Every woman would think she's beautiful. was Molly's mother, Molly's mom. She's right there. Please stand up so that everybody can see you. Okay, please sit down. So Molly's mom is here. How about Molly? She's not here. Oh. How can she not be here? Her mom is here. She's busy working. Oh, she's hardworking. Is Molly more beautiful or her mom is beautiful? If Molly doesn't have time and always busy like this, then she would become like Molly's mom, like her mom. In order to stay youthful, you live, relax, have money, and have a good lifestyle, and know to keep young. Otherwise, she would become her mom. No beauty stays forever. But it's better to be beautiful. The Uber or taxi driver, when they got a beautiful woman when they gave a ride to Molly, they would feel happier, and if they give a ride to Molly's mom, then they would feel a little bit unhappy. But at the end, doesn't matter how beautiful you are or how high your position is, it would return to emptiness. Doesn't matter how rich you are, it will return to emptiness. It talks about nothing is attainable here. Doesn't matter how beautiful you are, it would return to emptiness. That's how it is. So only the empty space is uncontaminated, undefiled. It talks here that only the Buddha nature cannot be contaminated, or the Buddha nature cannot be contaminated, and it is everlasting. And in each of our bodies, there is a Buddha nature, the Buddha said. And the Buddha nature cannot be contaminated. However, why your Buddha nature cannot manifest or appear? It exists, but why it doesn't manifest? Because it is enshrouded by your own karma, your own afflictions, and everything else. That's why it does not appear. But if you get rid of your afflictions, you let go of yourself, and you have forgotten all of your afflictions, your miseries, your happiness, and everything. When nothing else exists, then the Buddha nature will appear. So our spiritual cultivation is to completely eradicate ego, karma, and afflictions. So the Buddha nature intrinsically exists inside you, and you are the Buddha nature. However, you're being surrounded by your worries, afflictions, attachments, and ego grasping, and all those things. So spiritual cultivation is to eliminate ego, grasping to ego, self-attachment, and all afflictions. Then the Buddha nature will manifest and appear. So that's my talk about Mahachundi Buddha Mother today. I often talk about Master Huijun being chubby, but actually the chubbiness can save your life. Like say if Huijun and I went to the mountain to go hunting, as an example. It's not a real story, but and then we encounter a tiger. Then Master Huijun would save my life because I would run faster than she does. Because she's rather plump and her soul, she's flat soul, flat-feeted. Therefore, we should respect the fat ones because who knows? Because Huijun is my attendant and Lian Yu is my attendant, Hanifa is also my attendant, and the Reverend Li Li is also my attendant. And Reverend Lian Ying is also my attendant. Reverend Lian Qi is also my attendant. If we all go out together and there's an evildoer chasing after Grandmaster's life, then Huijun will really save my life. Because we all run faster. She doesn't run very fast because she had flat soles, so she cannot run very fast. So she will save my life. Therefore, we should pay respect to the fat ones too. A lot of things is like that. So you're respectful toward every person and treat them equally. Then that's equality, and you have no hang-up. Because who knows, one day maybe they will save you instead. So talking about Huijun being plump, but she has her own benefit. If we are chased by tigers, she would be eaten first. And I would run faster. So after the tiger eats her, then the tiger would be full, then would not want to eat me. So Huijun would have saved my life. Now let's talk about Lamdre. The so-called sixth instruction, by utilizing these four Dharma practices, it is impossible not to be absorbed into it on any of the practice paths. The so-called six instructions are divided into the common six instructions, which are removing the toxin, accepting the nectar, determination, scheming to smother, and collecting and dispersing. And the great self-mastery yogi's 6 instructions are divided into the realization or seeing, which are divided into removing the poison, accepting the nectar and determination, and contemplation, which are also removing the poison, accepting the nectar and determination. Although in this verse, contemplation is listed first, but in reality, it should be the realization first. It was stated the other way around. The statement in the verse, upon removal, enter onto the path. Practice the mind purification and discernment, which is the removal of poison of the realization. Includes the 3 instructions of realization to make the unabiding mind abide, and the 3 instructions of contemplation to recognize any kinds of meditative stability, obtain benefit, and remove faults. So the most important thing is to make the unabiding mind to abide and to recognize meditative stability, to obtain benefit, and to remove faults or flaws. Let me explain this part here. Remove the poison. What is the poison? Let me share a joke about poison. Someone wanted to kill himself. As I remember, the joke is, it's a joke from mainland China. So he bought a bottle of poison and drank the poison, but he did not die because the poison was fake. And then he bought a piece of rope and hanged himself, but the rope broke because the rope was made of paper. It was fake. Oh yeah. And what was the 3rd one? I forgot. But it was also fake. So he did not die. So he went to the bar because he did not die, so might as well just celebrate and drank alcohol. And then he died from it because the alcohol was fake. Because the alcohol was counterfeit, the fake. So, talking about removing the poison. So you need to eliminate all the fake ones or the false ones. Like Mahachundi said very clearly, everything that you see, everything that you hear, everything that you breathe in through the nose, everything that your tongue tastes, all the 5 aggregates, all the 5 senses of the vision, the hearing, the taste, the touch, and the thinking. Those are all fake. If you see a beautiful lady, you would think, oh, that's beautiful. So, but when you see Molly, you should think of Molly's mom, because that's just a false appearance, because not long she would become like Molly's mom. Like sound, like beautiful music, and you think it's real. Actually, it's not. because after you hear it, it's gone. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the fragrance that you smell, the taste of your tongue, the touch of the body, and then your thoughts, things that you generate from your mind. They're all toxic. Once you eliminate all of them, that's removing the poison. And accepting nectar, when the Dharma flow of the universe enter into your body, that's accepting the nectar. So the Dharma flow of the cosmic space of the Yidam, that's the nectar. You need to stop all the poison by letting go all of attachments. So the 6 roots, pieces, and the 6 roots, the 6 senses, so that vision, hearing, smell, touch, taste, and thoughts, and then the 6 consciousness, they all need to be cut off. You have to let go of all these attachments. Like if you cannot fall asleep, and sometimes you receive it, which means to harmonize it or disperse it. They all need to be let go. Once you let that go, then you would be able to enter onto the path of meditation. In summary, the attachments, differentiations have to be transformed into equality. So non-discrimination, no afflictions, no attachments have all be completely eliminated in order to enter into meditation or contemplation. The disciple asked the Guru, please teach me how to to protect myself. How? There's so many martial arts. And the disciple said, things that's very effective, like you don't feel any pain when you kneel on the washing board, or because the guru is cannot do anything, because the guru's wife is more incredible than the guru. So she's glaring at me. So I have no skills. When she's criticizing me, I only have one solution, is not to listen to her. But she's by my side, so I'm trying to go further, to go to the bathroom and close the door and to hide. Then no problem will happen. Then we stay in peace. When she's disturbed, she would generate the and she started to shoot, and we have to know how to avoid and hide. The same thing in contemplation and meditation. When things start to appear in your mind, there's some running thoughts, then you need to be able to discard them. There is a mantra in Tantrayana to discard. What is the mantra? Pei. Reverend Lianzi said, that's right, pei. Pei meaning no. Like someone says something and you reply, pei. Pei is like, nonsense. I will not listen to you. Like if you don't hear anything, then your sense of hearing is clean. When you don't see anything, then your sense of vision is clean. When you don't smell anything anymore, your olfactory or your smelly sense is clean. When your tongue doesn't taste anything, then your sense of tongue is clean. When your body doesn't touch anything anymore, your body is clean. When your mind doesn't have any more thoughts, then your mind is purified, is clean. And this cleansing is removing the poison, which is also stopping and cutting off. And at that moment, your ability to enter into meditation will appear. When Sakyamuni Buddha was at Jetavana, at the Vulture Park, it was raining, it was drenching for 7 days and nights, and it was flooding everywhere. And all the monks that were able to meditate, they all entered into meditation and did not drink nor eat for 7 continuous days. How could they do that without eating and drinking for 7 days? Because everything is emptied and they don't feel any hunger or thirst. They could not go anywhere for alms begging. They could not get any food. And how about the rest? They were starving. Those who were not able to meditate were starving, but those who were able to meditate, they entered into meditation. The great monks and the great arhats, only the novices could not meditate, and they were so weak from hunger and thirst, and they could not even move their bodies. So the Buddha finally would ask Manjushri Bodhisattva to go alms begging to another country. And he got lots of them, but only placed it inside one bowl and brought it back to this park. So he had such transcendent power to do that. Just a small bowl for thousands or hundreds of monks. How could they look at that small bowl? A little bit of food. But Sakyamuni Buddha said that Manjushri Bodhisattva's transcendent, majestic powers, incredible. you go ahead and take the food and it will fill all of you. And sure enough, there's everything in it. And they kept getting more and more food so that all the people at those people who did not have the ability to meditate get some food. So Manjushri Bodhisattva had such power. It was written in the sutra. So those who could meditate did not have to eat and drink for 7 days and nights, and the rest were about to die. But nowadays, is there anyone able to not eat and drink for 7 days and nights? No. So therefore, you should learn to meditate right away. There was a youngster who broke the law and was caught by the policeman, and the policeman was going to fine him, and he resented it. And as he was signing the paper, he said that, what are you trying to who knows that one day you will be in my hand. And the policeman was wondering, how could I fall into his hand? What does he do? And asked him, and he said, oh, I'm working at the crematory, at the cremation place. Tomorrow I've talked about the poison, removing the poison a lot. I got on the public bus and realized I didn't bring any money. So in front of the place where you put in the money, I didn't know what to do. And the grandma behind me saw that. And she waved her hand to me and spoke Taiwanese. Young man, come over here. I was so moved and went there. I was thinking that the grandma was going to give me money. And instead she said, get off the bus from the exit door. Don't delay our time. If it had been me, if a youngster does not have money, he forgot to bring money, then I would give him money. So sometimes helping others is the same as helping yourself. You should treat everyone equally. So the realm of Grandmaster is like this. If I lose my money, I'm okay. I will not be worried, I will not be upset. I will not treat the money as money. Because I would think like this. If the money is with me, I can use it. If the money is picked up by someone else, then he or she can use it. The function of money is the same. So if it's picked up by someone, then that someone is fortunate. So let him or her enjoy it. I'm okay. I don't care. So that's my spirit. I don't know if you have it or not. So whatever that you lose, it's okay. I don't care. If I lose it, I lose it. If I can use it, someone else can also use it. The use is the same. So this means it's no attachments. It's not that only you can use it. So if the old lady has money, she should have helped the youngster. That's my view. So equality and non-discrimination. Last night I cannot fall asleep. I was going to count the lamb. It's like 1 lamb, 2 lamb, 3 lambs. But I was thinking, then I remember about my the wife. So I started counting my wives. 1 wife, 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives. And the more I count, the more awake and the more happy I am. So I lost sleep. I had been an emperor before. I still remember it. When I was an emperor, my harem is full with thousands of beauties. I cannot finish counting my wives. But I did not practice the non-leaking dharma at that time. So every night I would suffer. Why? Because I had too many wives. In the daytime, it was already quite miserable, reading and approving the reports. And then at night, I had to accompany the beauties. That was full of misery. So that man who was counting wives and felt very happy, but actually that was quite miserable. But if you have attainment in your tantric practice, now Grandmaster is a non-leaking yogi, then the misery will be resolved. When I was the emperor, how could I not know about tantric practice and not to practice the non-leaking? And I had lots of children. That was quite miserable. That was horrible. So actually, sex is also poison. Ma Yin said this, the founder of Alibaba. Ma Yin said, that his junior high school teacher always arranged beautiful girl to sit on the same desk as him. So he's very grateful to his teacher. So on Teacher's Day, he offered his gratitude to the Guru. And the Guru replied, because it's to avoid the beautiful girls to have romances too early. So that's why the Guru, the teacher, had him sit next to beautiful girls because Ma Yun is very ugly, like an E.T. He looked like he's an extraterrestrial. So having a beautiful lady next to him, the E.T. would be happy, but the lady would not. So this is all about sensual pleasure. One likes it, the other one doesn't. So when you're about to enter into meditation, follow this piece, this excerpt. In order to enter into meditation, you need to eradicate likes and dislikes, that everything is the same. The final words. Don't see with your eyes, because it's easy to miss. Don't listen with your ears, because those are all lies. Just use the time and feel it with your heart. The real ones cannot be faked, and the fake ones cannot pretend to be real. So time is a good thing. It can prove human's heart, can see human's character, can see clearly the real ones, and also to see the fake ones, to recognize the fake ones. So the long distance, you would know the strength of the horse in the long distance, and you would know the real heart of a human being by knowing them for a very long time. So time will leave the most real people. So the disciples have to observe the Guru for 3 years, and the Guru has to observe the disciples for 3 years. Is this 3 years enough? No. See, I have seen the ghost witch for how many years? 30 years. I came here in 1982. I immigrated to Seattle in 1982. And she wrote it in her book that in 1986 she was together with Sakyamuni Buddha. So she took refuge at about that time. So I did not even recognize her true face in 30 years. The Grandmaster is very kind-hearted. The Grandmaster knew 20 years ago, since 20 years ago, but I treated her equally only until she tried to kill me, that I did something. Over 20 years ago, so about 10 years later, I recognized her, but I never accuse her. I never make it known. So when you accept people, you trust them. Since she stood up by herself, I asked someone wearing purple to stand up, But instead, she stood up and she was wearing blue. And because of that, the person who wore purple did not dare to stand up. So it was destiny. So I just used her instead because she had the courage. She was bold enough to stand up, but the one wearing purple ended up not getting up, standing up. So even I knew how she was, I did not. I just let it be. Until one day she wanted both lineage and independence. How could there be? How could she have both? She said it very clearly. I wanted the lineage, but also to be independent. And I agreed because she wanted it. But on October 3rd that year, she sent thousands of troops of ghosts to my house. Then that was truly unacceptable. So I started to write it in my books. Sorry about it, but Grandmaster is still very kind and compassionate. The Buddha taught us to pay homage to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Pratekas, Buddhas, Shravakas, and at least you need to do the practice. He never asked us to pray to the ghost, to enshrine ghosts. And you made statues out of the 5 ghosts. Wasn't that more scary? So that was the past. In any case, the Buddha nature is still inside her body, but the ghosts enshroud her vision. That's how human life is. Until now, I still pray to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapas, Dakinis, and all divinities, so that she can have clear vision quickly, soon, to first eradicate her own greed, so she does not always talk about someone owning someone else but has to give the money to her. She cannot threaten people that they would die at a certain time, so get money by threatening. So she cannot be greedy, she cannot be angry or full of hatred or ignorant and deluded. Because you're ignorant, that's why you worship ghosts. You're greedy, although you never made offering to Grandmaster for over 10 years. It's okay, but you took the money other people offered to Grandmaster. I will not ask for your money, but Grandmaster knows that there's some people who ask her to pass the offering to Grandmaster on their behalf, but you took them all. And the anger, aggression, and hatred, and that troops of thousands of ghosts were really vicious to come to my house. For what, you know? And then worshipping the ghosts is ignorance. I hope you eliminate all your greed, anger, and delusion, and one day too, you would become a Buddha. I hope that the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapas, Dakinis, and divinities protect her so that she could gain the true understanding of the mind and seeing the Buddha nature soon. From Mani Pemi Home.